Hey everyone, if you're still holding Opendoor technology, or if you don't know what Opendoor technology is, you're at the right place. Do me a favor, first thing, subscribe and like this video so I can do more videos. I've said this many a times, the more subscribers I get, the more likes I get on videos, the more videos I will keep creating for everybody. So subscribe and like this video and you'll see me do more Opendoor videos. But first we're going to look at Opendoor chart, and then we're going to look at another housing stock chart. Then we're going to look at some news about Opendoor technology. It's been a while since I've been here. So I'm starting to see some good things on the chart for Opendoor. That's why I'm here. I usually come back and do some videos when I start to see some positive things for Opendoor. And I haven't seen too much positive things going on, but I'm starting to see it now. So that's why I'm back. Sometimes it will come when Opendoor is not doing well, just to give an update. But I'm here to show you that Opendoor is starting to look a little bit better, And this is why. When we look at the monthly chart, not too much to see. We can't really dissect much what's going on here on the monthly chart. We have these three green candlesticks monthlies. Then we had a 1 month red, another month green, another month red, and then here's the beginning of January right here. Not much to see. Only thing we see here is a big pump from 50 cents to $10. We all know about that. If you've been following Opendoor, you know about the pump from 50 cents to $10. No point talking about that. But the main thing I want to show you is that Opendoor technology on a weekly chart has done something that it hasn't done in a long time, which is this right here. We have two green candlesticks right here, and they're both green. They're both green. That's actually good news. You might not see a lot of good news about Opendoor, on the websites. You're not seeing too much good news about the housing market on the websites. But looking at the technicals and the chart candles, we could see a trend here. We have two green candlesticks right here, and that means 2 weeks green. Not technically because this week just started, but we got off in a good start. And after hours were green for Opendoor. So, hey, who knows? We could have two official green weeks for Opendoor. And that's going to spark a lot of attention for Opendoor if we can do that. And more attention, the more volume, the price will go up. And if it's a lot of volume, like 100 million, 500 million, like back in the day, could see a short squeeze. But let's not think about that because we just want to go much higher than where we are right now. Right now we're at 632 close. After hours, $6.38. Our first goal is going to be to go to $7. We want to break that $7 area because that's going to be like an area where we just need to settle there until we go higher. $7. It's not too far away, but Opendoor hasn't been moving that much, so it seems like it's far away. All right. I was just recently at 564, and I went live the other day, and somebody asked me where they bought at. Was it a good price? I think so, because if you bought around the $5.80 or the $6, I think you're pretty good. I think you're pretty safe because we do have a support here at the $5.75. That's going to be a support area to watch for Opendoor. We don't want to go below this $5.75, this blue trend line right here. And so far, so good. All right. 4 green candlesticks in a row, 4 days green. That's great. Very, very good. Now let's look at the technicals for Opendoor on the daily chart because daily and weekly is the most important thing. I don't really care too much about 1 hour, 15 minute, 30 minute because I'm not day trading Opendoor. Not right now, of course not, because it's not really moving. There's too many other stocks to day trade. No point in day trading Opendoor when you can day trade some kind of Mag 7 stock, the Qs, the SPYs. There's so many other stocks to day trade. No point of day trading Opendoor. Best thing to do, if you want Opendoor long term, buy some shares, and just hold and wait for the housing market to recover because there's not enough volume to day trade. Not enough volume to day trade. It's something that, a long term stock you want to buy, a recovery stock. We all know Opendoor is a recovery stock, just like how Carvana was a recovery stock. Recovery stocks can take a long time. And the reason why is because it's waiting for the economy to recover. Once the economy recovers, the stock recovers. So let's look at the chart and see where Opendoor can go next. So we have 4 green candlesticks in a row, which is going to be good. Means not too much selling going on, more buying than selling. May have a little bit of selling, but not too much because we're in a trend. We're in a trend. And I'm going to show you a trend line, and that's what we're looking at so far. Kind of like that, just like that. Support line right here, and there's a trend line that we want to follow. And the first resistance is going to be here, at the 685. 685 is going to be the first resistance. And then, the $7 area is going to be right there. That's going to be an area of, resistance right here. It's going to be an issue, 685 to $7. And once we break that 685 to $7, we got to hold that area. We got to hold it. We got to hold it strong because we don't want to be in a $6 area. If we're in the $6 area, who knows? We could drop below to the $5 area again. And we don't want to do that because the technicals are showing that we can go higher, all right? The MACD, if you know anything about the MACD, if you want to learn about the MACD, type it in the comments and I'll do a video about the MACD and RSI because that's what I trade on. People ask me, how do I know when a stock is going up and down? Those are two indicators I really use, the MACD and RSI. I do use these indicators up here, but that's indicators on the chart. The moving averages, the Bollinger Bands, and I use some trend lines like that. But that's very different from the MACD and RSI. But this is all I use. And if you know the MACD, RSI, you can make a lot of money in the stock market. So these two indicators are very, very important. So here's the MACD, all right? And we're starting to cross the blue line. There's kind of like an orange or yellow line. I'm not sure what it is. But we're starting to cross it. And it's going to be resistance right here, the MACD. And we need to cross it. We need to break through and go up higher. The RSI on a daily chart is looking good. It's going up. But remember, it's not a lot of volume in the stock. So even though it's going up, it could reverse because not a lot of volume. And when there's not a lot of volume, it means a stock can be manipulated very easy because not a lot of money going into it. But the money that is going into it right now is bringing the stock much higher. Okay, so we went to 561 and now we're at 638, right? Almost $1 up. That's not bad at all for some progress. So we got to break that 680 and $7 area. When can we break that 680 and $7 area? Based on what I'm looking at so far, it depends on data. We have a lot of data coming out this week. The most important data is going to be on Friday. Friday for Opendoor is going to be the most important data day for Opendoor technology. So remember that date. If everything is good, we can go higher and break 680 $7. But be careful trading on that Thursday afternoon because some people may take some risk off the table because they don't know what the data is going to be on Friday. It may sell off a little bit on Thursday afternoon before the data comes out on Friday, or they could buy because they think the data is going to be good. So we don't know what's going to happen, but Friday we do know that that's going to be an important day for Opendoor. I'll touch base real quickly on the news. Not too much news out there. We do have one opinion, say mortgage rates may ease, but buyer psychology will shift the most. Mortgage rates are going down. That's what the analysts are saying. But the biggest shift will be the buyer psychology. And what they're talking about is that buyers are, at some point, are going to get used to this new interest rate. And they're going to get tired of waiting for the mortgage rate to go down. And they're going to settle based on wherever the rate is at and just going to go buy a house because they want to move into a house. As I said before, there's a lot of people waiting to buy a house right now. There's a lot. You may not see it. You may not know. But they're on the sidelines with cash, waiting for mortgage rates to come down and a good offer. Anytime you're buying something, you want the best price you can get. Same thing with the stock market. Stock is going up. Sometimes you might want to wait and say, I'll wait till it get a little cheaper. Housing, same thing. A house may be $600,000, but if you think it's going to come down some, you're going to wait. So real quick, back on the Opendoor chart, starting on December 31st, we had a nice green day, and then it came down. But after hours, pre-market looked good. It went up, and then it held on January 2nd. Pre-market, after hours, held, and then on January 5th, a lot of green candles right there. A lot of green candles. A lot of people are buying. In anticipation for what's coming up next. 2026 is supposed to be the year for housing. And also, the administration said they may find a way to help the housing market to get back on its feet. So there's a lot of anticipation about the housing market getting better. That's why I think the housing stocks are starting to come up a little bit. Quick look at lennar on a weekly chart. We got 3, 4, 5 weeks red candlesticks right here. And then starting off this week, we have a nice green candle for lennar, and this could be an uptrend for lennar as well, right? We could see this happen for lennar, something like that, right? That's what we like to see. And if that happens with lennar, probably may happen for Opendoor also. Lennar is up after hours. Opendoor is up after hours. So far so good. Subscribe and like. If I get a lot of likes on this video, I'll make another one tomorrow. I'll make another Opendoor video tomorrow if I get a lot of likes, right? So subscribe, like, and hope I see you tomorrow. Opendoor technology. Let's hope 2026 is much better. Take care.